For centuries, it harbored only fishermen and pirates. Then, in 1839, the British dropped anchor. They turned a rustic village into a crown jewel, a financial juggernaut built on the power of trade. Containers flowed from this port to the far reaches of the world. In 1997, this priceless jewel was returned to China. The British left, but ships still come and go, laden with an ocean of containers.
Welcome to the container yards.
Hong Kong is the world's busiest container port. So busy, modern terminal's dockyard never sleeps. 1,200 employees work in round-the-clock shifts, 365 days a year, moving thousands of containers every day. Container cargo is measured in TEUs, or 20 feet equivalent units, the standard unit in the shipping industry. But General Manager Ronnie Chan doesn't see TEUs, he sees dollars.
This here is the movement of the economy. Last year in Hong Kong, we have 20 million containers going through Hong Kong. And that's containers for food, for raw material, for finished products, all sorts of things. And that's how you keep the economy going.
It's also what keeps Ronnie going.
This is the little boy's dream, moving heavy stuff with big equipment. These are what's known as the key crane, my favorite piece of equipment. This is the equipment that makes the money. The key crane is the toy here, but this is a money-making toy. And this is not as simple as it looks.
A key crane weighs 900 tons, 4 times the weight of the Statue of Liberty. It's so heavy, it has to move along the dock on railroad tracks to line up perfectly with a ship.
The key cranes should be all ready before the ship comes in, meaning that they are all lined up already, okay? If the key cranes are not lined up, it will be late, too late. We'll be losing time.
In a place where time is money, not one motion is wasted.
See this thing going up? Now he won't pull it all the way up and then move over. Now he can do that, but if he would do that, he would lose a lot of time. So a skilled crane operator will always know what's the safe margin, what's the best way to do it so that he can save the time. And if you time it, the next box coming in would be about 30 seconds. And that is fast. That's efficiency. The faster they move, the faster, well, I hate to say this, the money comes in.
Modern terminals is Hong Kong in microcosm. A lean cash cow that never stops producing. Yet a cruel irony once menaced Hong Kong. A sea change that threatened to dry up the flow of money. Imagine borrowing a priceless jewel for 100 years. For a man, a century is an eternity. You don't worry about returning the jewel. You'll die long before the deadline. But for the world's oldest nation, a century is merely a moment. In 1898, China signed a treaty with Great Britain to lease territories around Hong Kong for 99 years. As the end of the lease approached, China asked for its jewel back. As part of the treaty, China's communist leaders promised not to disturb Hong Kong's capitalists. They called their policy one country, two systems. To Hong Kong, it sounded like two systems, one nightmare. Experts forecast disaster. An island of capitalism swallowed by a sea of communists. Financial markets would panic. The stock market would collapse. The shipping trade would dry up. Worst of all, the city's backbone, its banks, would pack up and leave. Yet, one bank refused to budge. In a bold statement, it declared capitalism was here to stay and made its statement in $1 billion worth of concrete, steel, and glass. Conceived as the best bank building in the world, the Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank headquarters is a model of construction. It reinvented the office tower.
What makes this building so special is the innovation of Hong Kong's people. We all know technology development was advancing rapidly back then. Manual banking operations became computerized. This building needed to be modernized to keep up with the development.
P.Y. Lee has worked here since day one. An engineer in 1985, he now manages the entire tower. Erected on a tiny footprint, the building had to be prefabricated largely off-site. But made in Hong Kong, it wasn't. Like the city itself, the building has foreign components. Steel was made in Britain, glass in America. A skyscraper built all over the world and shipped in piece by piece. With no margin for error, the precision of the engineering was unprecedented. Simply put, the pieces fit. Some can even be rearranged.
We don't have to demolish anything to change the layout. It's like building with Lego blocks. You can easily manipulate any of the pieces.
Every interior surface, every wall and floor is movable. So is the building's very infrastructure. Electrical wires, computer cables, air conduits, all can be rerouted without disturbing a single piece of drywall.
For example, if the air conditioning system needs to be rearranged, we only have to remove the vent pipe and put it to the other place. Then we cover the vent outlet which is not in use. This design is still considered very technologically advanced.
In most buildings, entire floors are occupied by heating and cooling systems. Not here. Instead, those components hang from the building's exoskeleton. In one fell swoop, they can be removed, repaired, or replaced. The jewel in the building's crown is a computer-controlled sun scoop. It's made of 480 huge mirrors that can be configured in 20 combinations. The mirrors gather sunlight and reflect it down through an 11-story atrium. By distributing warmth and light throughout the building, it saves thousands of dollars on electric bills. Impressive as the sun scoop is, it's not Mr. Lee's favorite innovation. This is the document train.
Why? Because it's just like the toy cars we played when we were young. It's a huge toy.
The document train is actually 120 cars running separately on a single line. Transfer track allows two approaching cars to pass each other, just like real trains. Each car can carry 20 kilograms of paper. Each day, they carry almost 3,000 documents. Fully loaded, they can move the weight of a sport utility vehicle. The train is modeled after a system for delivering parts across a sprawling factory floor. It travels through the skyscraper on 543 meters of track, about the length of 2 Eiffel Towers laid end to end.